Hello and welcome to KiltedSwede. I've got 5 words in English, which I'm going to go over the Swedish pronunciations of. The first one is Jaguar. So for me, I would say Jaguar. In Swedish, Jaguar. So the emphasis shifts from the A at the start to the A on the end. So Jaguar, Jaguar. It's like a long A at the end instead. The J is different. It's a hard J in English, jag. And then in Swedish, it's a soft J, which is their sound for J. Jag. Not jag, as in how you would have J-A-G, but I guess that part of the pronunciation doesn't change because it's original. Otherwise, the single A would be a long A. So it would be Jaguar or Jaguar. No, it just doesn't work. So some things just shouldn't or can't change. So it's Jaguar. And then that soft U sound as well. Instead of Jaguar, Jaguar, which always makes me think of the way Americans say it, Jaguar. It's the same U, but they've got the hard J, so it's like a mix of the two. The second one is a name, Douglas. Very common name in Scotland, I believe it's a Scottish name. Fairly common in Sweden as well. I don't know if it was a certain generational thing. It usually, names go around, they're popular for a while and then they disappear and then they come back. But I've encountered a fair few people called Douglas in Sweden. But Swedes don't pronounce it Douglas, they pronounce it Douglas. It's D-O-U-G-L-A-S, not D-O-G as in dog, as in woof woof hund, but it's Douglas. But in Sweden, everyone who's called Douglas is a dog, apparently. And they like ice cream, because ice cream is glass. Is that what it means? Ice cream dog? Never mind. It's just a pronunciation thing, I guess, but I find it really odd and quite funny, really. But I try not to laugh. It's one of those things that was quite difficult in the early days, but I've gotten used to it, so now it's more of a, I think about it every time, but I don't necessarily feel the need to stifle a laugh, Moving on, the third one is bowling. B-O-W-L-I-N-G. Bowling. How's that pronounced in Sweden? Bowling by many. Now, to be fair, many Swedes do say bowling, or bowling, in a Swedish way, but a lot of people have that W, because it's called double V, and see, there's a difference here. Double V is double V, and W is double U, 2 U's. 2 U's, 2 V's. There is a clue in the name in English, and it's never pronounced as a V in English, ever. But it is only pronounced as a V in Swedish, because it is double V. And it's a very old letter, it doesn't exist in modern Swedish. Hence the confusion with English words with W's in them. So I do get it, I do understand. I've covered this in an earlier video as well, the whole W thing. Which brings me to word number 4, which is vest. Kind of like what I'm wearing here, a sleeveless t-shirt. Granted, it's not a vest as such, but a top with no arms, vest. In Sweden, now I've quite often seen this in stores. On the label, it's been written W, or W, E-S-T, E-S-T, west in English, the direction, which is also vest in Swedish, with a V, just a enkel V, single V, no double. But it shouldn't be spelled with a W in Swedish, it should be spelled with a single V. I mean, that's how the direction's spelled, V-A-S-T. But the item of clothing should be the same spelling, because it's the same sound. But quite often, as I said, it's spelled the English way. But a lot of people pronounce it west when they're talking about the item of clothing. But you do not have to go west when you wear one. You can also go east, south, or north. I know I've made that joke before and it's not very funny, but I can't help it. So the last one, number 5, is Wi-Fi. In Swedish, people usually say Wi-Fi. Again, with that, you never know what you're going to get with the W. Where it's always the same sound in English, W, W, because it's double U, not double V. But in this case, it's a V. And it's Wi-Fi. Now that is granted, the way a Swede would pronounce that spelling. So it's a Swedishized version of the word. But it's not Swedish. I just think it sounds strange. And it also makes me think of an old archaic term, wifey, which is not really that politically correct these days. Not very many people use it anymore. I've only ever heard it used by older generations. I've never used it myself. So I remember the first time I heard it used, I did a double take and I thought, is that word used in Swedish? But of course it wasn't. They were just talking about internet connection. The more you know. But I don't say it. I call it Wi-Fi because that's what it's called. But as always with words, when you take, loan words, låneord, into another language, either their pronunciation changes or it doesn't. Or it bends a bit. Just whatever works for the language in question. But that's enough words from me for the time being. So, bye for now.